Welcome back to my channel, people. Today, once again, I'm going to talk about Black Lives Matter. Because Black Lives Matter went into Europe, and I live in Europe, so it's coming pretty close to home. Now, last time I made a nice little movie on how Black Lives Matter went into the UK, you know, the country with one of the lowest deaths by police or by law enforcement, and they there perform their naturalistic ritual of claiming that it's all the fault of law enforcement and Black Lives do matter. But they did not only go to the UK, they also went to Germany. And this is kind of funny. And you know why it is funny? Well, 90% of Germany is German. And I'm rounding it down, so it's more than 90%, but okay. And then roughly 4.5% of Germany is other. We don't know. But there are larger groups, and those larger groups are Turkish, which is about 2.5%, Italian, which is less than 1%, Greek, which is less than 0.5%, and Polish, which is less than 0.5%. So that 4.5% is mostly made up by Russians, Spanish, and Serbo-Croatians. You will have noticed that I did not say Africans. And I won't say that there are no Africans in Germany. But to say that they will make up more than 1% is probably also not true. They probably don't even make up 0.5%. Yet Black Lives Matter went to Germany to protest how Black Lives Matter there too. Germany does, however, have currently a large issue with the influx of, let's call them refugees by lack of better descriptive word. So they have a big problem with refugees, and these refugees have been making life harder for just about everyone in Germany. Women, men, boys, girls, basically everyone. So much so that politicians kind of told police that they were not to say that if they assume or have reason to believe that crimes were committed by refugees, they are not to mention this. And this is an issue, so much so that even refugees now get attacked by other refugees, but it does not get mentioned. There are refugees, serious refugees, that don't feel safe in Germany because of the not so serious refugees. And in this melting pot of a society, Black Lives Matter comes to protest. And I don't have a long clip. It's a very, very, very short clip, but it kind of says it all. And why do I think it says it all? Well, let me show you. Now, without looking at it again, what do you see mostly in this protest? Or rather, what do you feel is lacking in this protest? And the funny thing is, they're shouting no justice, no peace. Do they mean justice for the refugees that had their camps burned by other refugees? Do they mean no justice for the women that get raped during New Year's Eve at Cologne and, well, other major cities? Or boys or girls that got raped in swimming pools since then? Do they mean that? Well, they probably wouldn't. Well, at least not the boys and the girls things, because they're mostly white. Considering that more than 90% of Germany is white, and out of that remaining 10%, 4.5% is Turkish, which is not white. and another, let's say 5% is Spanish, Polish, Italian, Greek. They're not black. None of them are black. And if I look in this small clip of Black Lives Matter, I somehow feel there is not a lot of black. I mean, there are a few, obviously, though I'm not really sure if they're really black or they're Turkish black or Italian black. I don't know. I don't care. Most of them are not black. And they're shouting for justice and peace. Now, who do you think will need that justice and peace most? I would think victims. So who are the victims then? Is there a huge kill count on German police? Let's look into that. Well, I might not be the best looker of information. I will gladly agree to that. But what I found that in 2015, only 2 people were killed by law enforcement in Germany. One, Rafik Yusuf, well, obviously he's not white, but doesn't really sound black. And Rafik was to be arrested because he was waving a knife around. And as the first police officer arrived at the scene and got out of her car to talk to the guy, he already started attacking her, and he stabbed her in the neck just above her protective vest. So her partner kind of had no other option but to shoot at the man wielding the knife because he was trying to kill them. Justified shooting, I would honestly say. And the second one, I don't have a name. They wanted to arrest a man, I don't know which man, who was sentenced to 1 year in prison. And when 6 men approached him, he pulled a knife. He got shot whilst trying to get away or fight or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, unfortunately he died in hospital after he got shot because he tried to fight the police. So yeah, both of them kind of died justified by the cops. It's not a good thing. I mean, every police death is one too many. But yeah, if you try to stab police officers, then don't be surprised that these police officers try to defend themselves. And if they do so with lethal resistance, so to speak, then yeah, don't draw a knife. But unfortunately, on the second one, I don't know a name. The first one was definitely not black, because Yusuf is not a black name. But let's assume that the other one is black. That makes 50% of all the police deaths in Germany to be black. The other one was probably Arab. So why is Black Lives Matter in Germany? I mean, all lives matter would be logical, and I mean, then you have 2 victims, which is too many still. But yeah, I don't get this. What is Black Lives doing here? What narrative are they pushing here? There are hardly any black people in Germany. Most of them are German, and the biggest minority in Germany is Turkish. And trust me, Turkish people don't consider themselves black. So, welcome to the shithole or something? I don't get this. Why are you here, Black Lives Matter?